Hello there. So yesterday I said I was going to come back in a week, but I got to thinking, why would I wait a whole week to come back when I already have the information? In a week's time, I'll have more stuff to say. And I want to go ahead on and get this sex talk out the way. So yesterday we left off on point 3, which was look for intimacy in unsexy times. So that is something that I think is so intentional. But I have a question for you today. Do you guys, as a wife and together as a couple, do you carve out time just to talk, face to face, no devices? I think that's very important towards having a really healthy partnership, having real intimacy, because if you're not engaging, intellectually, if you're not engaging, really looking at what's going on with your husband today, if you're not doing that intentionally, I think what can happen is you can pass by like ships in the night, and the relationship is not being built properly. Therefore, connecting, from a real place of intimacy will probably go lacking. For me, in the morning, after intentionally engage with my husband, I am not, I repeat, not a morning person. But over the years, I've had to become one. The reason why I did this, my mentor, Lady Carolyn from Metro City Church in Atlanta, whoop, whoop, she told me a long time ago, you're going to have to engage the way your husband needs for you to. I can't always wait for him to do what I need. I have to play my part. I will say that over and over again for the rest of my life. And how I have done that with her leading is getting up in the morning. If it's nothing but looking at him saying, "What's up? How you doing?" Or getting up and maybe helping by making him a smoothie, which I haven't done in a long time. Probably need to do that. But engaging with him, asking him, "How are you really doing today?" This morning I said, "Babe, how you doing for real? Like, how's life going for you?" Because he's a man. They have this man cave mentality, and they will hold stuff in. Then I or you will start taking it personally when it has nothing to do with you. And really all it takes is a question. A question. How you doing, boo? So I would really admonish you guys as wives to intentionally connect with your husbands. All devices down, no distractions. When the kids aren't coming, tugging at you, your adult kids included in that. Just do that, engage on purpose. The fourth point I have in terms of being a good, sexy, sexual wife is discovery. Discovery is necessary. I remember we went to a boot camp, a marriage boot camp with our Bishop Flynn Johnson, Metro City Church again. And he was talking about discovery. And I was like, oh my God, hallelujah. We need discovery, because homeboy rubbing on that left cheek, that doesn't work anymore. That thing how they go to that same place and rub and think that's going to do something for you. That doesn't work. So what I have to do, if that's happening, is say, boo, that's not working for me today in this century. We need to discover what works for me and what works for you. What turns you on? What turns you on? You might have to tell your husband what turns you on. You don't sit and wait for osmosis to hit his brain. That's just not how they work. You're going to have to intentionally say, okay, I need something different. Point number 4, very important. Point number 5 is saying I love you. I didn't grow up in a family that did that. So saying I love you just became a thing for me, and really for my family, for my household. I intentionally tell my children every time I hang up from them, I love them. Or I tell them when I see them, I love you. That did not carry over into my relationship with my husband, which is crazy, right? So I now have to intentionally tell him that I love him. He does not tell me first that he loves me. Isn't that interesting? But that doesn't mean that he doesn't love me, and it doesn't mean that I'm supposed to wait for him to tell me I love him, because that doesn't work either. So I tell him often, I love you, babe. When I hang up from him now, I say I love you. And it triggers something for us, I think. I think that it solidifies something for us. It's not taken for granted. I'm not taking for granted that he loves me and vice versa. I intentionally tell him that I love him. I think that's a really good way, pouring in the positivity of love consistently. Pouring in the positivity of love consistently. For me, if I rub or scratch Todd's back, oh my God, that's everything for him. Like, and I don't necessarily like to do that, but when I do that, I know I'm showing love intentionally to him, because I can't only say I love you, I also have to show that I love him. So I get a lot of brownie points when I rub his back and scratch it. So number 6 is go outside the normal routine of love making. I think I should probably put that up with the discovery section, because being a missionary in the bedroom sometimes needs to change. You might need to change a little something or another, like shift the position or something like that. I think that just adds spark to your lovemaking. I remember one time I read a Cosmopolitan magazine. I had no idea what was in a Cosmopolitan magazine. I bought it for the style and the fashion, but I got me some good tips from the Cosmopolitan magazine, and I put those good tips for positions, good tips for positions into play, and it was amazing. So I wanted to say, to my man, I got a new position, boo, let's try it. Especially because he thinks in his mind that he's the only one who pursues sex. Well, I changed that up a little bit for him. Yes, I did. Number 7, have fun together, like making date night a play date night instead of dinner. Maybe you will go to Top Golf, do something that will make you giggle and laugh, and something that he might desire, like hiking, which I haven't done, but one time I'm going to do that as a date. Do things that are different. Add some spice to your life. Bike riding. I don't want to do that, but I will. 7, couples are not always in sync. 80% of couples report a desired discrepancy within a month's period of time. Oh my gosh, that's too many. 80%? 80%. The key to this is do sometimes what you don't want to do. You reap what you sow. I believe that couples tend to be more on the selfish side. I believe that we look to be satisfied way more than we look to satisfy. Does that make sense? I hope so. I really hope so, because it's something that I really have to work on, like intentionally. I have to say to myself, okay, you have to do something different. You can't keep, desiring something, doing everything that you want, and don't do anything that he wants. You have to be unselfish, guys. Yes, you do. So, the other thing that I want to talk about is yesterday I said something about ladies who are going through menopause. And I say that after 45, your libido really as women should increase. One thing that takes that away is menopause, the increased libido. So what I would suggest for you to do is go to the doctor and let them know that this is what's happening, whatever it is that menopause is causing, that keeps you from wanting to make love to your husband. Go get it checked out. I promise you the doctors will be able to help you if you have an open mind to it. Some women use this as an excuse, and I think that that's not good. It's not good. Making love to your husband is absolutely necessary. It's something that God created. He created it for reproduction, but he also created it for connectivity, if that's the word, and he created it for pleasure. So I hope that this helps you guys. I hope that you're able to go to love first where love making is concerned. I hope what I've said makes sense and helps. And I'm going to end on this because I have a really good girl, a friend of mine, who has this issue. Her husband is impotent due to medication and health issues. And it's something that I really had to ask my mentor about. And I don't want to not say it because I believe that if she's having that problem, someone else is having it too. So what the suggestion is you have to be each other's sole source of sexual fulfillment. When you have impotency problems, you have to talk about it. You have to encourage each other. You have to be each other's source of sexual fulfillment. Don't be like, I'll be sure and go do it on your own. What's the song? On your own, girl. Don't do that. You have to be together with this, okay? There has to be discovery in that. Make sure your husband gets medical attention because there's a lot of things that can be done. You guys can discover, like at a little sex toy shop together. You have to do what you have to do as long as you are in agreement. There's also things, and this is really something that I know a few people that have had. There's something medically done, and it's called a pump. I'm not sure the actual medical term, but you got to look into getting a pump. Like, there's stuff that you can do that will help this problem. My husband and I, this Love First Marriage Movement thing, we say things that other people won't say. We're not afraid to do that. But I want everybody to be able to have a great marriage. And having sexual intimacy is very important.